In this video, we will finalize the client app. We will improve the overall style to make it look like a bit more professional. The first thing we will do is to get a better looking Bootstrap theme. You go to bootstrapcdn.com and in Boots Watch you can find plenty of free themes. For this project I choose the theme called Cyborg. Just copy the HTML tag and you replace the old one in index.html. When done, you can save and refresh to check the new theme is in place. Now, the next thing I want to improve is to make our form to provide you a little bit more feedback by using the validation state property of React Bootstrap form group component. Basically, the validation state has 4 options. Success, which is green, warning is yellow, error is red, or null, which set the input field to the default color. So we will simply set the validation state value dynamically. And if you like to flag the form too, you can just add the form control.feedback. So we go to books reducers and add a new property in postbook called validation and with a value of success. We do the same in postbook rejected, but the value will be error. And finally, we set a null value for the reset button reducer. Now we open books form and we firstly add the new validation property inside map state to props. Then we add the validation state to each form group in the form and set it equal to this.validation. To save some time, I already added the form control.feedback tag. So remember to add this too if you want to display the flag in the inputs field. Alright, now we can save and see if the form responds correctly. And as you can see, now users have more clear feedback about the new book submission. Of course, this is one way to use validation state property. You can use it to provide a more robust validation, for instance evaluating that the input match certain requirements. Anyway, now in order to make our home page more interesting, we will add a carousel. If you go to React Bootstrap website under media content components, you will find the uncontrolled carousel component. Copy the code and open the book list component. First, you have to import the carousel component. Then you add a new row, and inside the new row, you paste the carousel code. This code includes 3 carousel items, but I want to display only 2 of them, so I will remove 1 item. Then I will set the image source to 2 images I'm storing in the image folder. The images I'm using are 900 for 300. I also set a small margin of 15 pixels in the row of books list to create some space between the carousel and the book list. Now I can save and refresh to see if the carousel is rendered correctly. Once we are done with the carousel, I will show you another thing we need to fix. When we add a product to the cart, the badge is displayed on the top of the bar. But if you go to another page, the badge disappears. This happens because we are not dispatching getCart action from the main component. So let's open cart component from where we could quickly copy the code and main.js. From cart.js we start copying the necessary import statements and removing the unnecessary actions. We also changed the path to cart actions. Then from cart we copy the map dispatch to props function and leaving only getCart action. We add map dispatch to props in the connect method. And finally we dispatch getCart from component.mount. Let's save and refresh. And now even if we are inside the books form, the badge is displayed. Now let's go back to the home page to see another improvements we can implement. If you look at the books list, the different lengths of the book's description makes the landing page a little ugly and each product takes a too big portion of the screen. We will fix this by rendering only first 50 characters of the description and adding a read more button which will display the entire description when it's pressed. So let's open books item component and set an initial state for the button to false. We then write a onReadMore function that set the state of isClicked to true. Just bear with me, you will understand what I'm trying to achieve in a moment. Then we need to render our description conditionally. So if description length is greater than 50 characters and isClicked is false, meaning user didn't press the read more button, we will need to display a shorter description. And we will use the substring method to render only the description from 0 to the 15th characters. Otherwise, we will render the full description because it's either shorter than 50 characters or user has pressed the read more button. Alright, we can now write the button. We will use a normal HTML button and we will write some custom CSS in a moment. We add an onClick event that invokes the onReadMore function, and we will render the button text only when the description is greater than 50 characters and the button wasn't pressed by the user. So if clicked is false and description is not null, indeed, since I didn't implement a validation of the submitted description, I have to take into consideration the eventuality that some books could have a null value and description length is greater than 50 characters. We then display a read more button, otherwise nothing. Let's now quickly write the CSS for this button. So to display a button that has no background or borders. And now save and refresh. And the books list displays only a preview of 50 characters, and if the user clicks the read more button, a full description is displayed and the button is hidden.